speaker series presented by the Entrepreneurs Forum, which is a weekly event featuring industry leaders held every Thursday on Zoom. It's designed for learning and networking. I would like to introduce our sponsor, Mundo Digital Designs, which is a female-led web design and branding agency with a strong social impact focus. Every project with them is a step towards empowerment. For every new client, they sponsor therapy and provide valuable business and design skills to women in need. In today's episode of Tech Horizons with George K., we are joined by his guest, Jeremy Druin. Welcome, George and Jeremy.
Thank you so much, Erica. Welcome, everybody. And this is going to be an amazing show. I've known Jeremy for a while now, and his ideas and concepts about marketing and the technology that drives it are going to be tremendous. So I'd like to just start by asking Jeremy, you've been doing traditional marketing for a while. Tell us a little bit about your history and how you got to where you are now.
All right, I'll try to make it a long story short because it can take a while.
Yeah, we've only got like 45 minutes here, so like.
Yeah. So to start, my first experience in sales was in door-to-door. I started to learn really about sales at this door-to-door school that I can call this. And that's where I really started to go into personal growth, how the psychology of the sales, the psychology of the buyers. And I did that for 3 years, had a team doing door-to-door sales. And then I started my first marketing agency after this experience. And we were offering some LinkedIn automation outreach for business owners, and we niched down to financial advisors until LinkedIn broke our knees with a limitation of messages we can send to people. So that's where the agency crashed. And then skip to another part. I quit that agency, and I started to work with one of my friends who has a business selling custom furnitures, and I did marketing for him, doing Facebook ads, doing Instagram ads, and mainly.
So what years would that have been, more or less, Jeremy?
In what years? Which one?
So let's say when you got into the furniture, doing the marketing for the furniture, around what years would that be? Just to put it in the context.
Around 2021.
Okay. All right.
So I did my marketing agency 3 years past that. So around 2018, did that for 3 years. In 2021, did marketing for this business, and I grew them from $80,000 a month to $600,000 a month in sales. And I realized that my skills were not valued in this company. And I built, while I was working there were so many leads and so many prospects that were let down without interactions because the salespeople didn't have the manpower to call these leads. So that's where I got my head down to the AI world and AI technology to help nurture the leads into appointments. And then once I made it work for him, I realized that, holy shit, many businesses need that specific.
Okay, so let's break that down a little bit, because I want everybody on this call to understand that there's a difference between being able to get a lead and to be able to convert a lead. And what would you say was some of the typical problems that you were seeing with regards to this company not being able to capitalize on the leads that you were generating?
Great question. And it goes back to my other agency too. We had the same problem. We were generating leads for clients, and the main issue was the leads were not contacted in time. So in marketing, there's a not unwritten rule that says in the first 5 minutes, if you don't contact your leads, then it's almost as if the lead is lost because they have time.
5 minutes.
5 minutes, the first 5 minutes. After the first 5 minutes, you lose approximately 70% of chance to convert that lead. So it was a problem that we had in the agency at first. And it was always the agency, us That was the blame, that taking the blame. The leads are shitty. Yeah, but when do you call them? When do you contact them? Oh, I have a list of them. I didn't call yet. I'm going to do that this week. You're going to
So
do that.
I wish everybody was here in person. Would ask everybody to turn on their cameras and have a show of hands of how many people feel that they don't get enough leads. But in light of the fact that Jeremy just mentioned, that they have to convert a lead, or they have to touch a lead, reach out to a lead within the first 5 minutes. Again, I'd ask how many of you have the ability to do that? How many of you have the ability to reach out to people or to respond to people that are interested in your product or service that quickly? So that's something we'll touch on as we move a little further on into this discussion. So Jeremy, you had all these leads coming in using the various techniques that you had this epiphany that there was a problem between the amount of leads that were coming in and the ability for these merchants to be able to respond to that amount of lead generation. So what was the answer? Shut off the leads and just drip them into people, or how did you do that? What was the solution?
Yeah, at first, the business owners were like, "Stop the campaigns. I have too many leads. I need to take care of them." And then I realized that, damn, you can't do that. You have so many leads. You just need the solution to contact them faster and convert them into appointments. So that's where I created this AI that was acting as an appointment setter, to contact the leads, have a conversation with them, ask them questions, qualify them, and turn them into appointments, all automatically with the AI that's doing the work. So
So if
it's
you
like
think about
creating
the years that Jeremy was talking about, was there resistance to the initially from these merchants, these businesses to use AI? Were they nervous about it? What was their response? What was their attitude?
Yeah, it was very, very negative. Especially this business owner was very old-fashioned, very pen and paper and no technology, no CRM. Was really getting his clients with word of mouth referrals. And when I got in that business, I started to do some online marketing, some ads, some videos for them. And now he saw the volume of leads. So that's where I shared him. We need to find a way to nurture them and book them into appointments automatically, because you don't have enough salespeople to contact them. So that's where he was against it. He was like, I don't want my clients to talk to a robot. I don't want them to feel like it's not a human. I'm really against that. I don't feel that. And I did it anyway. I did it anyway, even though he didn't want. So I just said, trust me, I'll make it work. Just trust me. People won't feel like it's a robot. I'll make it as much human as possible. So that's what I created. And that's when I realized that many businesses needed that. And we had some personal issues together. We didn't have the same vision. So I had to let that business owner on his own. And I started my own business to do that.
So quick question, Jeremy. Given the fact that some people are nervous about AI and some people think that AI can just solve all of the problems, we know that that's not true. Let's look back at your traditional marketing experience. What was the key to being able to craft the right types of responses for the AI to be able to use in order for your clients or their prospects to be able to have a good experience with the AI chatbots that you were creating?
So first, we need to think about what is the target audience, who are we speaking to, and what is the personality of the AI that we want to create, because it's all personalizable. Some clients like their AI to be more friendly, funny, humoristic, and some of them like to be more straight to the point, authority, and this is how we're going to work, and we don't ask many questions. But every AI is different. Every AI is personalized, and we have to create this person, because I see it as a human that it's going to book these appointments. It's almost as if you create the perfect appointment setter, your perfect employee. So you create the script, what questions you want to ask the prospects, what's the personality that you want to promote on this AI, and what is the vocabulary too, because some clients target construction workers, some clients target some business owners, and it's all different language that we need to speak. So we create this personality based on a description, almost as if we recruit someone and we create a description of the role that we want to have.
Right. So when you think about traditional marketing, when we talk about creating personas of our clients so that we can direct our marketing specifically to those people, what Jeremy has done is basically he said, I'm going to clone your best customer service person, or I'm going to clone your best sales representative. And of course, in most cases, when we're talking about owner-operated businesses, you're talking about really cloning yourself. So Jeremy's process is to really analyze, to understand, to record, to sit with the owner or the salesperson or the customer service persons and really create a clone of that person to the best of his ability. And then that becomes the basis for all of the programming. But Jeremy, I think, if I'm not mistaken, don't these systems learn as they go, as they deal with the various customer service issues or sales issues that come up?
Some of the AI, some AI do learn by themselves. The way I built it is more, I take the feedback from the clients and I learn from the feedbacks from the clients, and I optimize the instructions of the AI in order to create the perfect version. Because at first it would be lying to say that the first version is going to work, it's going to be perfect, it's going to book all the appointments, it's going to interact perfectly. It's more about a service that I provide to help the customer build with time, with the feedbacks, with the conversation, the perfect interactions possible to have a perfect flow of conversation. So it takes approximately 2 to 3 weeks to have the perfect version with, depending on the client, 3 to 4 optimizations in order to perfect the conversation. But the way I built it, it doesn't learn by itself. Maybe I'm going to build it another version that will learn by itself. But now I'm at a point where the client and I learn by ourselves. We read the conversation, we see the interactions, and then we optimize based on the feedbacks that we get, either from the customer or from the conversation that we see on the other hand with the recap of everything that we read.
So you see, when people have that fear that the AI is going to say something that will tarnish the reputation of your company, because of the types of controls that are put into the tool that Jeremy is creating, that alleviates some of that stress, that anxiety, because the system really can't issue a response that isn't already programmed into it. Is that correct?
Exactly. It's not a pre-programmed questions or interaction. It's more about indication and instruction and a structure of conversation that we want. Chronologic. Sorry, chronological questions that we ask. So number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, and conditions. If this is said, then ask this question instead. So it's more about a structure and instruction on the personality, the vocabulary, and the business it represents. So if there's some questions that are asked to the AI, at least they have the information to provide the good answer. So it's kind of pre-programmed, but not 100% pre-programmed. So we let.
So Jeremy, is there a limit to the amount of information that a system like that can contain, as far as its ability to source answers for the client or for the prospect?
Maybe there is. I didn't reach it yet. All the AIs that I built never reached a specific limit. And my first version of the AI was very short. And now the AI that I'm building for my clients are way longer and have way more information. But so far, I didn't reach a limit. So maybe I just didn't push it far enough. But I didn't reach a limit yet on the amount of training we can apply on the AI.
Okay, excellent. Now, how far, I mean, we've all experienced chatbots. I mean, some of them can be super annoying and some of them deliver information fairly quickly. What's the difference between what you're talking about And the typical chatbot, when you go on to any of these large software suppliers, typically if there's a help thing, it's one of these chatbots. What's the difference between that and what you're talking about?
I think well, my personal opinion about the general chatbots is more about the prompting. So anyone can create a chatbot in minutes and put it on their website and say, you are a helpful assistant and you answer questions of the prospect. And here's the information you have that you can provide to the clients. So just like ChatGPT, anyone can go on there and ask questions, but it's the quality of the questions you asked that's going to give you the quality of the response that you get. So it's the same thing with creating a chatbot. I think the way I differentiate myself is the quality of prompting that I'm able to create in order to build that chatbot in that conversation with my background in sales and marketing, that I can create the perfect AI to book an appointment. But anyone can create an AI with free tools here and there and say you answer questions, you support my questions on my website, but it's very, very based on the prompt and the instructions that you give to the AI. That's going to give you the quality of the conversation that you want to get. So I think this is something that it's going to be very important for anyone who wants to jump in the AI world, is the quality of the instructions that you give and to understand how the AI thinks, if we can say that it thinks, but it's the way that you give the instructions and the structure of the prompt that gives you the best context, the best interactions, and the best way to have these conversations with the prospects.
Great. So I don't want this conversation to be just a two-way conversation between Jeremy and I. So if any of you who are in the audience want to ask a question, feel free to put it in the chat or unmute your microphone. It would be great if you have a camera to turn the camera on so we can see who we're talking to. But at the same time, I've got a question here. Someone's asked with regards to language. Obviously, you're bilingual, but you're francophone. How do these tools? The question is, how do these tools work with different languages?
It's pretty much all the languages, because you basically, when you create that prompt, and I did some tests and I did a whole prompt in French, the whole instruction was in French, and I just had one phrase that says, your only language is English. And it understands the prompt, the context of the structure of the instruction you want to give. And with this line of you only speak French or English, then it changed the whole language. I tried it in Ukrainian, in Spanish, in French, in English, and all the languages were working. So I don't think there's a limit on the language it can speak. And it's the same for many AI tools out there for content creation, for chatbots, for prompting. It all comes down to the prompt that you give, and it can understand the conversation and create a response based on the language you want to give.
So I have another question here with regards to security. A lot of business owners are concerned about their information, their proprietary information. How are security concerns addressed using a system like yours, Jeremy?
In what kind of risk do you mean about that?
Like, for example, like are you concerned? Like most people are concerned that their proprietary information, so customer information, things like credit card information, things like company secrets, are those things vulnerable when you're using an AI system like the one you're talking about?
Not the way that I'm using it, because I'm using it in a way to book appointments. So the main goal of my AI is to book appointments. So there's no credit card information exchange. There's no personal information exchange. It's more about capturing a lead from a Facebook ad or Instagram ad or any other platform. Once this lead is captured with an opt-in form, then it sends them SMS or Messenger or Instagram DMs to the customer. But there's no information or personal information exchanged. Maybe if there was, then the question of security would be something I would think about. But for now, I'm not in that process of asking the prospect about their personal information. But I'm sure some businesses do ask, and probably they have thought about this question more than me. But the way that I'm using it, there's no exchange of personal information. So personally, there's no risk for my clients.
Okay, great. Understood. What about dependency? You know, we've seen people put like tons of money into their Google SEO and their algorithms and all the rest of it. And then just to have Google pull the plug or change something, and then it flushes out all that investment. Should we be concerned as business owners that, you know, these tools are being controlled by like say one person or another? Well, I mean, I think the two big ones are ChatGPT and Copilot. A system like yours, is it dependent specifically on any one of these big giants? And if someone creates something, is there a danger that they can pull the plug and you lose that ability?
I'm sure there is in everything based on the marketing world. We all know that the Facebook is always changing and banning people. And yes, I depend on all these platforms. So Facebook, ChatGPT, Zapier, Go High Level, all these platforms that I create my systems in. Yes, I depend on them. But I think it's a risk that I'm willing to take because of the benefits that it's providing for me and my clients. But I'm sure in the future, my vision is to create that one platform that includes all the tools that I'm using it to create all in-house. So create my own language, create my own platform, host my own communication channels, and have full control. Because right now, the way I'm structured, yes, there's a risk of, let's say, ChatGPT decides to stop their operations. Let's say Go High Level stops their operations. Let's say Facebook and Instagram, Meta close their operations. Then my business is done, unfortunately. But I think
what are the chances of that, huh?
Well, there's always a risk, but it's what is the reward of taking that risk? That's my opinion.
Right. I understand. Okay. So let's talk a little bit about practicality speaking. There's a lot of business owners here. Some of them are on different levels of their maturity. Let's say a mid-sized operator wanted to get involved. Let's say a service-based business wants to get involved in using your solutions. What's involved? Like, walk us through some of the steps that would be involved in operationalizing your solution.
Absolutely. So there's 3 different tiers of my solutions and my services. And it's all in the goal to close the gap from a lead generation to becoming a client, so the sale. So there's many steps that you need to, there's many gaps that you need to close in order to acquire a client. So first, we need to generate some attention, some traction on social media in order to create an audience. So this is where the Facebook ads, the content creation, the lead generation part comes in. There's the capturing the lead, so the middle part. So capturing the information from a prospect, transform this attention into a contact that you can have access to speak to them, and converting this contact into an appointment in a calendar in order to have a sale with this client. So there's many parts that we need to cover in order to acquire a client from a cold audience, from someone who doesn't know you. So the first part would be create some content, create some ways so people can know you. And once they know you, they like you and they trust you, then you convert this person into a contact, a lead that I can say. So once this lead is contacted, then you need to speak to them, nurture them, contact them in order to convert them into an appointment. Once it's an appointment, you need to warm up this appointment with some reminders, some testimonials, some content that's going to warm this lead up. And then you need to have a salesperson to convert this lead into a client. So I try, with my services, I try to cover all these steps of the sales process for any business owners to just worry about delivering the service to a client. So we offer all of these at growsquare.ai. So the lead generation, the conversion into an appointment, and the sale of that client with a remote closer.
So Jeremy, I've got another question here. Someone's asking, if I already have, let's say a marketing agent, or already have somebody that's doing all my social media and they're doing all the ads and everything, do I need to replace them and just work with you, or can the two work together?
No, that's a very good question. So, like I said, there's three different tiers: the lead generation, the conversion with the AI, and then the sale. And clients can pick whatever their need is. So if you already have some content, some advertising, some lead generation in place, then you only maybe need the conversion into the appointment. So we implement just the AI for your leads to be converted into appointment. If you have the leads and you have the appointment setter, then you just need some salespeople to close these appointments, and you can provide only one of the three. Or if someone already has a team of setters, already has an AI that converts them into appointment but doesn't have leads, then we can just cover the leads part instead of all the steps after that.
Understood. We have another question here asking us, are there specific types of businesses that are good for using this type of tool? Is there a business, a field, an industry segment? Is it better? Is the tool better for one versus another? I think that's the question.
I started as just like all agencies do. I started by helping anyone and everyone, and I helped some construction companies, some roofing, some solar, some online coaches, some financial advisors, real estate agents, and all these kind of niches that I started to help. And I realized that the most results were coming from the people that were selling something high ticket and online. So any online meetings, Zoom meetings, Google Meet meetings, anyone that sells their product by Zoom or by Google Meet can benefit a lot from that system. For the meetings that are in person, so for example, the business that has a brick and mortar and needs the client to come in the business, I see less results with them. But all the ones that are selling some online meetings, these are very beneficial. And I try to focus right now on coaches, consultants, service providers, agency owners that are selling high ticket services or products via Zoom.
Great, excellent question. I understand that. So I think one of the things that we definitely have that comes to people's minds, what are the costs associated with implementing your solutions to, let's say, a mid-sized business?
So you mean the whole package, or just the AI setter, or just which one?
Let's start with the AI setter, for example.
So the AI setter, it's a first setup fee. So initial setup fee of $5,000 to set it all up, to personalize the AI to the business, to create all these lead capturing pages, these landing pages. And after the setup is done, it's pay per appointment. So you only pay per results that you generate with the system. And we are talking about $50 to $150 per appointments, depending on the business.
And typically, how much time is involved in doing because you talked earlier about all the research and in terms of the being able to capture all of that specific information for the customer service, for the sales, so what's the time typically for pulling that type of information out of the client per se and putting it into your system?
I would say it depends on the client's speed to answer.
Doesn't it always?
But let's say, for example, when I send the onboarding form to my clients and they fill it up the same day, 2 days after that can be first launch of the first version, the 1.0. After that, like I said, 2 to 3 weeks to optimize the conversations, to read what are the interactions based on the leads that we get, what are we correcting, what are we optimizing. So first version can be launched after 2 days. And once it's launched, I would say, let's give us 3 weeks to optimize it and make it perfect.
Cool. I have another question. What type of visibility do I have to your systems? So let's say I'm the client. Do I have some kind of a dashboard? Do I get reports? Like, how do I have visibility to what's going on with my system?
Mm-hmm. At any point in the process, the leads have conversation inside of the platform, growthspur.ai. They can literally read the live conversation that are going on in the moment, and they can join manually and interact with the prospect themselves. And this will automatically remove the AI from interacting with the leads. They can remove people from the AI conversation and take over at any moment of the process. And yes, they have a dashboard, they have access to the conversation, the lead lists, they have a pipeline. It's a CRM that includes all of these features in order for the client side to see his business, his marketing systems inside of that platform.
Excellent. I had a question with regards to, I remember when we first met each other, one of the things that sparked my interest was your use of a digital avatar. Can you explain to the audience what a digital avatar is?
Yes, so I'm using this platform called heygen.com, so HEYGEN.com. And this literally can create a personal avatar of yourself in 3 to 5 minutes. So you basically put a camera in front of you with the setup that you want to duplicate. You record yourself just speaking words or speaking some reading phrases, anything you want to say. So it will capture the image, it will capture you, your body language, the way you speak, your voice, and it will create an avatar of yourself. And this avatar, you can make it say whatever you want. You can just say, I like apples, and then enter, and you'll see your avatar just say, I like apples, as if it was you. So you can duplicate yourself and create an avatar of yourself using the AI technology with heygen.com, and it will literally save you a tremendous amount of time on content creation, but also put yourself in a way that you can create content just by writing text, and it will be you saying that text.
You see, you all think that this is me actually in this video, but it's not. I'm actually in another room. No, that's not true. Okay, so is it possible then to use that digital avatar and combine it with the technology that we just finished speaking about? So, for example, if people are putting in questions, rather than have a live agent being like on a screen, video on a screen, could it be that avatar responding to the client's chat requests?
Yeah, there's a technology that I'm studying right now. It's called DID, d-id.com. And this can create some AI agents, as you can call them. And you create your video just like the HeyGen. You can speak and have your voice recorded, your image recorded, and then you can create a prompt just like you create a chatbot, but instead it's a video bot that you can ask questions, and your avatar will answer those questions. I haven't built it for myself yet, but I'm studying right now, and it's possible. You can put that on your website as much as a chatbot, that you can have this little window that people can speak to, but instead it's a video of you that people can chat, and it's going to be you answering the questions with your avatar. But I didn't create it yet, but I know it's possible.
Okay. So I think the point that we're trying to make here on this is that these technologies they're not super science fiction. These are tools that are being used today, and that they are accessible to the average business, right? So, Jeremy, talk to us a little bit about why wouldn't I implement this technology? Like, I might, if I'm a business, I say, well, this stuff is like, years away, or, I'm doing okay with what I've got right now. Why would I want to, risk all of this? Like, what would you say to someone who's skeptical, or who is like resistant to adopting these technologies?
Without being rude, I would say
No, don't be rude.
you can stay behind the curve if you like to stay there, but if you're not using AI in your business, not just a chatbot like I'm promoting, but any AI tools, any business has opportunities to implement AI. It can be for content creation, it can be for chatting, nurturing your leads, it can be for anything, analyzing documents. Can be just right now, we're taking notes with the AI with this Zoom meeting. So AI can be used for many purposes. just look at your business and look at what are the things that takes most of your time and duplicating tasks that can be saved with the AI. So whatever your business is, there's at least one AI tool that can be used to optimize your sales process, your onboarding process, any process that you have. There's an AI tool that can help you with that. I'm not saying to turn all your business with AI and everything AI, but I'm sure there's one thing that can be used for your business that can be optimized with AI.
Thank you for that. We've got another question with regards to case studies. So one of our viewers or attendees has asked, can you share with us an example of another example of how you were able to get results for one of your clients? And I'd ask to make it as average as possible so that it can relate to as many of the people on this podcast as possible.
Mm-hmm. I think it would be best if you allow me to just share my screen and show you a conversation that led to an appointment. What do you think about that?
Why not?
I haven't prepared for that. I'll hope I'll pick one that makes sense. But
Jeremy's putting himself completely on the spot here.
Yeah, I didn't
not rehearsed.
That, but I'll get a customer who is in English, because as you know, most of my clients are in French, but there's a one that is in Florida who is using this AI to book some recruiting call for salespeople. So it's a solar company that's looking for salespeople, and this business used the AI to interact with the new leads that are called a new candidate. Oh, party, yes.
I hope when you share the screen, it doesn't deactivate the recording system, but if it does, we'll get Erica to put it back on.
I hope not. So I'll
No, you're good. It won't deactivate it.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you.
All right. So for example, I'll share here. Host disable participant screen sharing. I can't right now.
Yeah, Erica, you're gonna have to give them screen sharing capability.
Is it okay now?
Okay,
there we go.
Right now you see the World Square logo, I assume?
We do.
Okay, so let's bring this here. So the lead comes in the platform. So there's an opportunity that was created in the CRM. And this is the first intro message that is sent to the lead. Hey, I'm Brooke from Global Residential Services. I'll be the assistant that will help you through our hiring process and see if you might be a good fit for our team of high achievers. You can reply stop at any time, and I'll kindly remove you from our list. So there's a few things to go over before I set you up for an interview. Do you mind if I ask you a few questions real quick? And then the prospect says, okay, awesome, Chris, let's dive right in. Do you have a car to get around? Yes, great to hear. Now we're currently hiring for a Fort Myers location. Would you be able to commute there every day? Yes, fantastic. Now I'm curious, what is it that you're doing right now for a living? I'm doing sales. Sales, huh? That's interesting. How long have you been doing this for? 18 years. Wow, 18 years in sales. That's impressive. Would you say that you like your job? I'm open for a better opportunity. That's the spirit. To me, it sounds like you could use some change professionally. What would you like to be different in this next opportunity? More lucrative commissions, better training to build off what I already know, stability. Those are solid aspirations. Why is it that these things are important to you? Remember, there are no wrong answers here. We all have different motivations in life. I have a family. I know I have untapped potential. Family and untapped potential, those are powerful motivators. I can appreciate that. Anything else you'd like to share? Nope. All right, let's talk about something we all love, money. What are your financial goals for this next opportunity? $100,000 a month. Wow, $100,000 a month. That's ambitious. What kind of difference would it make for you if you were able to achieve these financial goals in the next 12 months? it make a positive difference. That's fantastic, Chris. If this was to be a good fit, how committed are you in learning the skills that would help you achieve these goals? Extremely committed. I like what I'm hearing, Chris. According to the information you provided, it looks like it could be a good fit. What I would like to suggest, if it's okay with you, is to schedule a call with our hiring manager to answer any questions you might have and see if you could be a good addition to our team. Would you be open to that? Yes. Okay. What day would work best for you? Tomorrow morning. Sorry, we are booked for the time you requested. Here are some openings though. And then some openings, 3 p.m. Yes, that's available. Should we book for Thursday, April 18 at 3 p.m.? Yes. Appointment was created in the calendar. Great, let me lock you in. Then the opportunity was moved into the new lead from booked appointment in the CRM. There's the confirmation email from the owner, the information of the meeting, text confirmation for the meeting, and then a little test close or confirmation of the appointment. By the way, I forgot to ask you, is there any reason why you wouldn't be able to make it for 3 p.m. this Thursday? None, I'll be there. Okay, so I got lucky. I picked a good conversation. So it's pretty much like you said, it's asking the question that the business wants to ask their prospects. And then I set up all the questions, and the AI will use these questions and create some replies based on the context of the conversation that is going on right now.
So had Chris asked different questions, obviously there would have been different answers that would have been generated by the AI.
Absolutely, yeah. I can select another one if you want to see if there's
No, I think we get the idea. I think we get the idea. So I think what we're trying to, I guess what I'm trying to emphasize here is that a lot of times people will feel that these things are robotic, and you go on and you ask the same question and you get the same answer over and over again, and then of course it really seems to be robotic and not human. And I think that's the point. We want to make sure people understand that even if Chris were to respond the same way, he would get a different response from the AI. The AI just wouldn't keep robotically asking the same question over and over again. So I guess that's what I'm trying to make everybody understand.
Yeah, I would say that it wasn't that good at first. When I started, I had many issues. The AI was repeating the prospect's first name a lot on every messages, every exchange. And sometimes it didn't understand the context. So we had to go back into the training of the AI and give more context and say some lines kind of like, do not say the prospect's first name on every interaction. So with time, I improved it a lot to get to this final results that you guys saw. But it didn't start that good. It started as a robot, like people think as AI. It sounds like a robot. It's more like robotic conversations, but with experience, with the improvements that I made to the system, I was able to make it as human as possible with the interactions that we guys.
So I think the other thing that that comes to mind right away when I hear that is, given the learning curve that you have already experienced, I'm assuming that a bulk of that learning curve can be applied to any new client. It's not like every client has to start from zero and climb that learning curve, correct?
I'm not sure if I understood the question very good.
So because you've learned a lot of these techniques for smoothing the interaction between the person and the AI, when a new client comes on for you, you don't have to go from zero and start from scratch to making it more human.
Yeah, it makes total sense. So as I have, like, my most recent clients have the best version, and when I create a new better version, I have to go back to my old clients and improve their version because I found a better way to improve it. So with time, yes, it's easier and easier to do onboard new clients because the instructions that solved some of the problems are now solved for every new client. But yeah, now it's way easier because the instructions and the details are corrected on each new client.
So the reason why I brought that out is for people to understand, just because you have a tool doesn't mean you know how to use the tool well. There's lots of people out there that have access to amazing tools, but if they haven't put the time and invested the learning into making the tool work well, you're going to spin your wheels as far as the results that you're going to get, right? So you can go out to the hardware store and buy the best tool available on the market, but if you haven't put the time into learning how to use it well, you're more than likely going to damage whatever you're trying to fix or build, or maybe even damage yourself, right? So the whole idea is to leverage the experience that someone else has in using the tool. And I think that's the point we're trying to make.
Yeah, absolutely. And I've had some interactions with some people that already tried AI before, and they were like, oh, no, it doesn't work that much. I tried it. My leads were getting some weird conversations. And I'm like, okay, what are the tools you use? I use this and this and this. I'm like, okay, I use the same. Can you show me a conversation of the AI? How was it interacting with the leads? And then he showed me the interaction. So every text that the lead was sending, the AI was sending the booking link. So here's the link, you can book an appointment, blah, blah, blah. So it was always robotic as my first AI. So now I realized that, okay, so this client was against AI because he had a bad experience with someone who didn't know how to set up the AI properly. So I was just watching his prompt, and I said, show me your prompt. Maybe it's just a prompt issue. And I saw his prompt. It was, you are a helpful assistant to book appointments for my leads, and this is the booking link you need to send the prospects when they want an appointment. And you are empathetic, you're respectful, you're nice, you're polite, and that's it. That was the prompt. I was like, oh my God, okay. I'll show you my prompt, just for example, and it's 3 pages to Google document with instructions and structures, and he was like, oh, okay, now I get it.
Yeah.
So it's pretty much like you probably saw this story or heard this story before about the engineer who comes in a business and he just turns a screw and it's like, okay, here's your bill, $8,000 for this bill. Why it's 8,000? You just turned one screw. It's like, yeah, but I've spent 20 years to know which screw to turn. So this is why you're spending that money. So I was like, okay, this applies for the same for prompting and for AI technology because it's accessible. Anyone can use it, and the bare minimum of entry to get into the AI world is very small. Anyone can access it with internet, but who is using it the proper way makes a big difference.
Yeah, 100%. Everyone has access to Facebook, but some people are making millions of dollars a year on Facebook, and some people are spending millions of dollars a year on Facebook and making nothing, right?
Yeah, same with when I hear that, oh, Facebook ads doesn't work. Really? So why should a business spend $100,000 a day on Facebook ads if it doesn't work? Maybe you're doing it wrong, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So before we're getting to the top of the hour, and I want to respect everyone's time and thank everybody for being here. One of the pieces we didn't really touch on much, and I want to circle back to it. At the beginning of this conversation, we talked about your clients not being able to convert the sales or convert the leads that were coming in. What was one of the things that you decided to do at Growth AI to Growth Square, I should say, to fix that problem for your clients? Like, what are some of the new services that you've added that can help your clients solve that problem?
You mean the conversion into an appointment or the conversion into a sale?
Into a sale.
Okay, so like I said, there's the tiers, so the lead generation, then the conversion into an appointment, and the conversion into a sale. So in marketing and sales, there's all these gaps that we need to cover. And most business owners, especially in the construction industry, they're not salespeople. Unfortunately, they're very good at construction, but they don't know how to sell, how to act with the customer, how to have conversation, how to send a quote and present a quote. It's different than just sending an email. This is the price. Hope he's gonna buy. So to solve this, then we're creating at least right now we have 3 beta clients that we're working with. So we are placing a remote closer that is trained on how to sell someone and to build a relationship, how to act with the customers. And we generate the leads for them, we convert them into an appointment, and we have a sales representative that's going to take these sales calls for the client and actually help the client convert more sales.
Right. So for those of you who are in any of the consulting fields, there's a lot of coaches, there are a lot of specialists. Oftentimes the act of selling is something that is not necessarily in their wheelhouse. So the on top of everything, if you talk about, using those key, turnkey solution, what I'm hearing is that Growth Square can take you from someone who doesn't even know you exist all the way to a closed contract, and all you have to do is focus on delivering the services to the client.
Mm-hmm.
Did I get that right?
Yep, that's our main focus, is to close all the gap and be the one-stop shop for sales and marketing for any businesses. Like I said, it's always a work in progress. There's always some improvement to make. There's always some optimizations that we're working on. And right now we fixed the lead generation, we fixed the lead conversion into an appointment, and now we're focusing on how to help a business convert this lead or this appointment into a sale.
Right. So Jeremy, what's the best way for people to reach out to you? How can people reach out to you if they got questions or they want to learn more about your services?
First, they can go and test the AI on my website, so www.growthsquare.ai. Then you will see a little version of my avatar that is speaking on this video. And if you just click any button on the call to action to book an appointment, then you'll be able to have a conversation with me to elaborate on how we can help any businesses implement these strategies and these tools. I also created a PDF document, as Michael asked me to do yesterday, to give you a list of all the tools that I'm using. Not all of them, because I am sure I forgot some of them, but most tools that I'm using right now to build my systems and my strategies that you can have access to. But mainly, I would suggest you to go just test the AI and have a conversation with it. You'll see how it's working and how it can interact with a lead. So growthsquare.ai would be the website to go try that out.
That's great. Thank you so much, Jeremy. And I want to just highlight the fact that Jeremy has been very transparent with the tools that he's using and some of the techniques that he's using. Again, it's really a question of the skill of the use. So thank you very much for sharing. Thanks so much for the transparency. And maybe we'll see you on the podcast again soon.
I hope so. Hope you guys enjoyed. And if you have any questions, don't be shy to reach out. I'll be happy to help.
Thank you, George, and thank you, Jeremy. Once again, we want to thank our sponsor, Mundo Digital Designs, but thank you to all for joining today.